The 2022 Golden State Warriors just wrapped up one of the most unlikely championship runs in recent NBA history. Fueled by a legendary performance from Steph Curry, who finally claimed his first Finals MVP, the Warriors also thrived thanks to the lockdown defense of an unexpected hero, Andrew Wiggins. Wiggins embraced a Scottie Pippen-like role throughout the playoffs, providing crucial two-way play that helped propel the team to victory. Add in key contributions from the rest of the supporting cast, and the Warriors seem destined to repeat. With a young core poised to extend Steph's championship window, the future looked incredibly bright for the Dubs. Many believed they were the favorites entering the 2023-24 season. But then everything changed.
Draymond Green punched teammate Jordan Poole at practice today after the two had been verbally going at it during what was described as a heated practice. Now, it's possible that Green will face some type of punishment from within the team.
A punch sent shockwaves through the entire franchise, casting doubt on the Warriors' future and potentially ending the dynastic run that began in the early 2010s. In this video, we'll explore the build-up to that fateful moment, its aftermath, and its impact on one of the NBA's most successful teams.
Explosive video obtained by TMZ Sports.
This is really shocking.
After a heartbreaking loss to the Toronto Raptors in the 2019 Finals, the once dominant Golden State Warriors found themselves at a crossroads. They lost two of their key players to devastating injuries: Kevin Durant to a ruptured Achilles and Klay Thompson to a torn ACL in Game 6, just as the team was battling to come back from a 3-1 deficit.
Thompson grabs his left knee.
To make matters worse, Durant opted to leave Golden State, joining the Brooklyn Nets in a sign-and-trade deal that brought D'Angelo Russell to the Warriors. It felt like KD was spurning Steph Curry for his buddy Kyrie Irving. This decision may have stemmed from an incident earlier in the season between Durant and Draymond Green during a regular season game against the Clippers, a moment we'll revisit later. As the Warriors entered the 2019-20 season, uncertainty loomed. Klay Thompson would be out for the entire year to recover from his ACL tear. Franchise stalwart Andre Iguodala was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies to save salary, and veteran leader Sean Livingston announced his retirement. Things took a turn for the worse when Steph Curry suffered a season-ending hand injury just a few games into the season. With their stars sidelined, the Warriors spiraled to a 15-50 record in the COVID-shortened season. However, not all was lost. The silver lining of the lost season was the development of their younger players, particularly Jordan Poole, the 28th pick in the 2019 draft. The Warriors also landed the second overall pick in the lottery. Additionally, they traded D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins before the trading deadline, a former number 1 overall pick who had yet to live up to his potential in Minnesota.
This is an aberration.
The Timberwolves were so eager to unload Wiggins' hefty contract that they threw an extra first-round pick, fuel for the Warriors' ambitious two-timeline plan, which aims to balance proven veteran poise with young talent. As the 2020-21 season approached, the Warriors had renewed hope. Klay Thompson was set to return, bringing back the other half of the Splash Brothers. But fate dealt another blow.
MRI confirmed it is a torn Achilles. The Warriors say he is expected to miss the upcoming season.
Klay tore his Achilles during a pickup game, once again clouding the team's title aspirations. Yet, even in this setback, there were positives. Klay's absence gave Jordan Poole even more playing time, helping him develop into a key contributor for the Warriors' eventual 2022 title run. Golden State attempted to salvage their season by trading for Kelly Oubre Jr., hoping he could fill the void left by Klay Thompson's injury. Meanwhile, James Wiseman, the highly touted second overall pick, was inserted into the starting lineup. The athletic 7-footer was envisioned as a future cornerstone, a lob threat and low-post presence who would add a new dimension to the Warriors' motion offense. However, the season started slowly as Golden State struggled to integrate the newcomers. Both Kelly Oubre Jr. and James Wiseman had flashes of brilliance. Oubre notched a career-high 40 points against the Dallas Mavericks, while Wiseman showed glimpses of becoming the dominant big man the Warriors had long sought. Unfortunately, both players suffered season-ending injuries, leaving the team in a difficult position. With Oubre and Wiseman sidelined, head coach Steve Kerr turned to the reliable Kevin Looney to anchor the front court. Kerr also relied heavily on second-year standout Jordan Poole, who fully embraced his role as a high-scoring, shoot-first sixth man. Poole injected much-needed energy and offensive firepower into a lineup that lacked a reliable second scoring option. The Warriors returned to their brand of basketball, finishing the season strong with a 15-5 run in their last 20 games, earning a spot in the play-in tournament. Unfortunately, Golden State lost to both the Lakers and the Grizzlies, ending their season earlier than they had hoped. Despite the disappointing finish, Steph Curry delivered a message during his post-game press conference, a warning to the league that foreshadowed what was to come.
Don't want to see us next year.
Heading into the 2021-22 season, the Warriors had high hopes. Building on their strong finish from the previous season, the Warriors aimed to recapture the defensive identity that had been the cornerstone of their dynasty. The return of Andre Iguodala added another veteran leader in the locker room and a reliable defensive presence on the wing. Meanwhile, Klay Thompson was finally nearing his long-awaited comeback, determined to prove that he wasn't washed after battling through 2 devastating leg injuries. His return carried not just physical significance, but emotional weight, as Klay sought to remind everyone why he was still a vital part of the Warriors' championship DNA. Adding to the mix, the Warriors drafted Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, 2 promising rookies to complement their veteran core. Jordan Poole was on the rise, building off a strong finish to the 2021-22 season, while Draymond Green was itching to get back to the playoffs after 2 straight seasons of falling short. Golden State also added 3 key free agents: Otto Porter Jr., Nemanja Bjelica, and Gary Payton II, the latter who made the roster with his defensive tenacity. The Warriors came out firing, winning 19 of their first 22 games, driven by their elite defense. Steph Curry was playing at an MVP level, eventually breaking Ray Allen's record for the most three-pointers in NBA history. Andrew Wiggins earned his first All-Star selection, and Jordan Poole stepped up big time, especially in the final stretch of the season when he filled in for Curry, who missed the last 12 games with a foot injury. The highlight of the year came when Klay Thompson returned after 941 days, announcing his comeback with a dunk in his first game back. Gary Payton II also exceeded expectations, becoming a key rotation player with his defensive prowess. A relentless defensive ball hawk, Payton was one of Steve Kerr's go-to options for guarding high-scoring perimeter players, versatile wings, and even at times big men like Nikola Jokic. Despite injuries to key players like Curry and Green, the Warriors finished as the number 3 seed in the West, setting up a first-round matchup with the Denver Nuggets. The Warriors handled the depleted Nuggets in 5 games, who were without injured stars Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., propelling them into a second-round clash with the up-and-coming Memphis Grizzlies. That series was a physical battle, with multiple flagrant fouls and a near-season-ending injury to Gary Payton II, after a Dillon Brooks clothesline. However, Golden State prevailed in 6 games, advancing to face Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks. In the Western Conference Finals, Andrew Wiggins put on a masterclass in defense, neutralizing Luka Doncic while scoring timely baskets and pulling down crucial rebounds. The Warriors defeated the Mavericks in 5 games, earning a trip to the NBA Finals to face the Boston Celtics. The finals were a hard-fought series. The Warriors and Celtics split the first 2 games, and Boston took a pivotal Game 3, putting Golden State's back against the wall. In Game 4, with their season on the line, Steph Curry delivered one of the greatest finals performances ever, scoring 43 points and grabbing 10 rebounds, single-handedly willing the Warriors to victory on the road and leveling the series. The Warriors carried that momentum and won Game 5 at home, and were looking to close out the Celtics on the road. In Game 6, Steph Curry delivered yet another iconic moment. After draining one of his signature deep three-pointers in the third quarter with plenty of time still left on the clock, he pointed to his ring finger, confidently signaling that the championship was within reach. Steph continued to hit clutch shots down the stretch, helping the Warriors seal the deal and secure the Game 6 victory on the road, cementing their championship win. Curry's Finals MVP victory silenced the critics who had long questioned his legacy, finally cementing his place as one of the top 10 players in NBA history. But just as the Warriors were riding the high of their championship triumph, an unexpected incident threatened to derail everything. Reports initially surfaced about an altercation during a practice and training camp between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. At first, GM Bob Myers attempted to downplay the situation, describing it as something that happens regularly in sports. A typical heat-of-the-moment clash between competitive teammates. But everything changed when a TMZ video revealed the full extent of the altercation. Draymond Green had delivered a vicious right to Jordan Poole's jaw, knocking him out cold. How did things spiral so quickly? From the peak of winning a title to a chemistry-altering incident that shook the foundation of the team. To get the full perspective, let's examine the key players involved in this shocking moment more closely. Draymond Green, known for his fiery intensity and unrelenting competitiveness, has built a career on those very traits. However, this same tenacity has often led to clashes with teammates and coaches. While his fiery behavior wasn't entirely unexpected, it was something that head coach Steve Kerr and GM Bob Myers had been managing throughout the Warriors' dynastic run. One of Green's most infamous incidents came during a heated confrontation with Kevin Durant. After a late-game turnover, Green publicly berated Durant, reportedly yelling, "We don't need you. We won without you. Leave!" This was a moment that many believe was a turning point in Durant's decision to leave the Warriors. While that wasn't the sole reason for Durant's departure, it may have been the final straw. Jordan Poole, a brash rookie out of Michigan, was drafted by the Warriors as the 28th overall pick in 2019. While many draft analysts criticized the pick,
maybe the worst pick in the draft so far,
Poole's unshakable self-belief and relentless work ethic helped him prove his critics wrong. The Warriors' lost seasons accelerated Poole's development, allowing him to gain valuable playing time and build his confidence as a high-scoring sixth man. He also became a reliable insurance option for Steph Curry, stepping up when Curry missed time. Though there were some bumps along the way, Poole emerged as a key contributor during the Warriors' 2022 championship run. He knocked down crucial shots throughout the playoffs and was often compared to Curry for his long-range heroics and flashy style of play, earning him the reputation of being a Curry clone. However, that same unwavering confidence, which fueled his rise, also led to tension with some of the team's veteran players, even as early as his rookie season. According to reports, Draymond loved Jordan's trash-talking as a rookie, and Poole reminded him of himself as a rookie.
Pissed off in practice. Oh man, you're a rookie. You know, I've heard a few people say you're a rookie. You never shut up. And I just be sitting there like, good job, young fella. You got him mad. And like he told, I remember being that rookie that wouldn't shut up, and everybody hated it. So, doing something right.
When Draymond Green walked away from that interview with a smile, it seemed insignificant. But ironically, the very trait that initially endeared Jordan Poole to Draymond, the young guard's brash confidence, was the same trait that ultimately pushed Green over the edge. This wasn't the first time Green and Poole had clashed, but with Golden State fresh off a championship and looming contract extensions for several key players, tensions were running high. Draymond, in particular, was reportedly anxious about his future with the franchise. Meanwhile, Poole entered training camp with a noticeable shift in attitude that rubbed the veterans the wrong way, likely fueled by the anticipation of a lucrative $130 million contract extension, one similar to what Tyler Herro had recently secured. Remember this clip of Poole and Andrew Wiggins celebrating in the locker room?
No. You about to get a bag. We about to get a bag. We about to get a bag. We all want to get a bag.
According to reports, Poole took jabs at Green, mocking his Twitter handle, MoneyGreen23, by suggesting that he was broke and won't get a new contract. Poole even referred to Green as an expensive backpack for $30, implying that Green was merely along for the ride with Steph Curry. Those comments reportedly infuriated Green, leading to the infamous punch. There were other remarks reportedly exchanged, some too vulgar to repeat here. But you get the point. This wasn't the first time punches had been thrown between teammates. Later in that same season, Rudy Gobert punched Kyle Anderson during a heated exchange, which led Draymond Green to post a tweet referencing a comment Gobert had made earlier in the year when he punched Jordan Poole. Of course, the most infamous teammate altercation remains Michael Jordan's punch to Steve Kerr during a practice, which left Kerr with a black eye. However, there's a key difference between those situations and what unfolded with Draymond and Poole. Gobert didn't knock Anderson out and immediately apologized to the team afterward. Similarly, Michael Jordan called Steve Kerr to apologize later that same day after being encouraged by coach Phil Jackson. There were no further comments after these incidents, and everything was handled internally. Kerr and Anderson were veteran role players with well-defined roles on their teams. Even Rudy Gobert, despite his max contract, is still considered a high-priced role player with little playoff success. There was no contract tension hanging over those situations. The fight stemmed purely from frustration on the court. This was different. The most crucial factor, there was video evidence of the altercation, which changed everything. Without the footage, the Warriors likely could have downplayed the incident, something GM Bob Myers initially tried to do. However, once the video surfaced, it amplified the situation, making it impossible to brush aside. The Warriors front office even hired a law firm to investigate the source of the leak, but the investigation led nowhere. Adding to the tension was the looming contract situation, and when money enters the equation, so do egos and bragging rights. It wasn't just about salaries, it was about the emerging second timeline of younger players like Poole clashing with the established core of four-time champions like Draymond Green. The day after the incident, Draymond held a press conference where he expressed remorse and publicly apologized to Poole and his family. He also acknowledged the embarrassment caused by the leaked video, lamenting how it amplified the situation and further strained their relationship. Jordan Poole seemed intent on moving on from the incident, saying,
Handling ourselves that way. We're going to play basketball, and everybody in the locker room and on our team knows what it takes to win a championship.
You might have thought the incident was finally behind them, but then Draymond Green released a short documentary addressing his altercation with Jordan Poole. This didn't sit well with the Warriors front office, as Green had reignited the topic instead of allowing it to fade from the spotlight. The documentary raised concerns about Green's perspective after the incident. Rather than fully taking accountability, he appeared to rationalize his actions, reopening wounds that the team had been trying to heal. The film portrayed Green as a victim of the media frenzy that followed, emphasizing his feelings of being in exile as a consequence of the punch. The timing of the documentary was also problematic. What should have been a celebratory moment, a ring ceremony on opening night honoring the team's success, was overshadowed by the controversy. Instead of the issue fading into the background, the documentary reignited the spotlight, bringing the situation back into national focus at a time meant for celebration. Throughout the season, the lack of chemistry between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole became increasingly apparent, with their interactions often under the media's microscope. Under that kind of scrutiny, the Warriors struggled, especially on the road, finishing with a dismal 11-30 record, the fourth worst road performance in the league. Despite improving his scoring average, Jordan Poole regressed in his fourth season, marred by poor shot selection, defensive lapses, and a series of baffling turnovers, many of which saw him lose his balance and mishandle the ball, leaving fans puzzled. Reports later surfaced, revealing that Draymond Green's refusal to reconcile with Poole behind the scenes isolated him from the core veterans. Feeling the pressure to prove he could carry the torch of the Warriors dynasty, Poole struggled to find his rhythm on the court. In hindsight, it became clear that Poole's on-court issues were directly tied to the fallout from the incident with Green. Despite their dismal road record, Warriors fans found hope in the team's dominance at home, where they posted an impressive 33-8 record. This strong home court performance allowed Golden State to secure the 6th seed after a strong finish to the regular season. Unfortunately, Golden State couldn't replicate the magic of their 2022 championship run. They were eliminated by the eventual finalists, the Los Angeles Lakers, in 6 games. Poole, who had a strong Game 1, struggled throughout the rest of the series, while head coach Steve Kerr had downplayed the preseason altercation all year, insisting the Warriors were still contenders. The truth emerged during the exit interviews. Kerr admitted that the punch had derailed their season, citing a lack of trust as a major factor in the team's struggles, especially in road games. Draymond Green echoed this sentiment in multiple interviews, confessing that he felt he had lost his voice in the locker room. Amidst all the chaos surrounding the incident, several questions lingered. Why didn't Bob Myers suspend Draymond Green after this altercation, especially considering he was suspended after his argument with Kevin Durant, an incident far less egregious? Was Draymond's apology to Jordan Poole and his family sincere? And did he make any real efforts to repair their fractured relationship? To answer the first question, Steve Kerr cited the franchise's long-standing experience in managing Draymond Green's volatile temper as the reason for not suspending him. However, the underlying reality was that the Warriors didn't want Draymond to miss the highly anticipated ring ceremony on opening night. They were concerned about the potential repercussions in the locker room given Green's volatile personality and the impact his absence might have had on team chemistry during such a pivotal moment. This wasn't the first time Golden State had opted not to suspend Green, which could arguably have contributed to his escalating behavior, something I'll explore further later. Turning a blind eye to star players' missteps isn't new in the NBA. Just look at how the Cleveland Cavaliers bent over backward to meet every trade demand of LeBron James during his prime. Or how the Houston Rockets turned a blind eye when James Harden visited gentlemen's clubs at the expense of his team. There's a reason for that. Star players produce. In Draymond's case, he had been the defensive anchor behind 4 Golden State championships. However, Green's past incidents have come at a cost. One infamous example is the 2016 NBA Finals, when Draymond's lapse in judgment, a groin tap on LeBron James, resulted in a suspension during Game 5. The Warriors had a commanding 3-1 lead and were on the brink of back-to-back titles, but Green's absence gave the reeling Cavaliers new life. LeBron, along with Kevin Love and a prime Kyrie Irving, led Cleveland to the greatest comeback in Finals history, toppling the 73-9 Warriors on the road in Game 7. Which brings us back to Draymond Green and the disconnect between his words and actions. Despite saying all the right things publicly, Draymond's behavior told a different story. It became clear that he wanted no part in mending his fractured relationship with Jordan Poole. Reportedly, Draymond refused multiple requests from head coach Steve Kerr to take Poole out to dinner to make amends after the incident. A heated exchange on social media further highlighted this stance. When Poole's father, Anthony, accused Draymond of never apologizing to him or his wife, Green responded, tweeting, "It's impossible to avoid you in an arena for a year, champ. I gotta get my family from that family room every game. And stop using those words. They usually don't go well amongst men." The hostility of this response only confirmed that despite the public apologies, Draymond wasn't truly interested in reconciling with Poole or his family. Jordan Poole was eventually traded to the Washington Wizards, with the Warriors receiving their former nemesis, Chris Paul, in return. The 2024 season proved challenging for Golden State, and particularly rough for Draymond Green. His temper continued to get the best of him, leading to multiple suspensions, first for putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold and later for punching Yusuf Nurkic. These incidents underscored the consequences of the Warriors' decision not to suspend him after the punch thrown at Poole, highlighting a pattern of unchecked behavior. Without Green in the lineup for significant stretches, the Warriors struggled. They finished the season as the 10th seed, and were eliminated by the younger, more athletic Sacramento Kings in the play-in tournament, missing the playoffs entirely. Only time will tell if Steph Curry and the Warriors can rally and muster enough talent for another championship run as they chase the elusive 5th ring. The sour ending to the once promising relationship between Poole and Green is particularly disappointing, especially since Draymond had taken Poole under his wing early in his career. These incidents could leave a lasting stain on Green's Hall of Fame legacy, or perhaps be remembered as just a rough patch, depending on whether the Warriors can pull off another title run for Steph.